This is my friend James's apartment. It's a rental building, but it's a brand new suite, so it had lots of potential, but was a bit boring. James brought me on board to help him decorate the space and really bring it to life. The look is relatively contemporary, but we layered in vintage pieces or just things that were a little more interesting, so it felt like it evolved over time and didn't just happen overnight. Some of the challenges when dealing with a rental space versus a space that you might own are you really don't want to invest in things that you can't take with you. I wanted to create a real cozy, homey atmosphere, but we couldn't change things. We had the dark wood floor to work with, the layout was as is. It was more about painting, changing up some light fixtures, and then just decorating, adding some key furniture pieces that could transition from one space to another, because you might not be here forever. The den is what you see when you walk in the space, so I wanted to create some drama and chose a really dark wall color. It's called Molten by Para Paints. I love it because it's not quite black. There's a little bit of blue, so it's a little more approachable and not so dark. I added a chair in the den to create a good spot to read. Now this chair was secondhand, but we had it reupholstered in this beautiful linen fabric. It's a Japanese style block printed linen. I love this fabric because up close you'll see that it's fish, but from farther away it's just this beautiful graphic pattern. We changed up the light fixture to continue the drama. James loved this option because it's so geometric and really plays into his love of science. So this hallway is wider than most. It's actually 5 feet, so I really wanted to make the most of it. I added this credenza, which offers a lot of great storage and is also the anchor to what is a beautiful gallery wall. I love a gallery wall because it's an instant way to add personality to a space and really customize it for the client. We chose a lot of things that James loves, and it's also a thing that you can add to or change as your interests change. On either side of the credenza, I added these more traditional Louis-style chairs, which also just kind of frame this vignette and are a place to sit down and put your shoes on. The hallway really does exemplify the mix that we've created throughout this space. The more contemporary sideboard paired with the more traditional chairs, and then a real mix of art. It's a great representation of James's personality and the look we are going for. The end of the hall opens up onto the main living, dining room, kitchen. Now this space is actually smaller than most, so we had to be really clever about how we laid out the furniture. We chose a bar height table, which divides the 2 zones. It acts as a dining table, but then is also a secondary counter surface for prep and just makes the kitchen feel larger. I opted for a sectional sofa, which is modular. That means the sofa can actually stand alone if it were to be taken apart, and it's a great thing for when you're dealing with a rental space because you might not want a sectional sofa in your next space. When decorating any space, it's good to consider where you want to save and where you want to splurge. In my opinion, a sofa is something that you don't want to buy every few years. Spend a good amount of money on a sofa that you're going to love for a long time and that will last. Now the coffee table seems quite small. Did this on purpose because we didn't want to overload the space with furniture. James was a bit hesitant in the beginning, but it's really just a place to put a drink. And to be honest, I really like this play of scale. The large sofa and the large television console, and then this smaller table, it's a fun mix. Now the rug was definitely a save. It's from IKEA and only cost $90. You'd never know it because it has so much character. We then layered in pattern. The curtains are a block printed zigzag that really throw to the colors in the rug. We then added just a few accessories. It's just about layering up pattern, but making sure to change up the scale. You don't want to have everything be a small print or a large print. Just make sure there's a mix. In the bedroom, I layered wallpaper behind the bed to create more of a focal point and add some more personality. I love this paper because it looks like a hand pencil drawing. It's these beautiful waves with whales and sea turtles. It's a lot of fun, but still looks quite elegant. The bedding is just kind of neutral, which balances out the wallpaper, and then the side tables and lamps, we just went for a more symmetrical feel because the space isn't too big, just to keep it feeling balanced. Because this is a small space, I wanted to decorate it with one consistent palette. Now each room does feel different. The den's dark, the living and dining room is bright, and the bedroom is a little more decorative. But overall, there's a really consistent feel from one room to the next. It's good to do this when decorating a small space because it just keeps things connected and not feeling too disjointed.